But really though, isn't it just the cutest thing? Look. Hi humans. Irony, play, and paradox. Irony, play, and paradox. Irony, play, and paradox. Let's go. It still kind of shocks me that I work in the spiritual business, that I work in the spiritual community. As a kid and all the way into my early 20s, I was fairly certain that my life's purpose, my career, was going to be some form of an entertainer. Even though I've had connections to the mystical and spiritual realms for as long as I can remember, my life force energy always went through more mainstream channels. When the channeling of the extraterrestrials first presented themselves, herself, itself, I was gung-ho. The energy was just so profound and the overflow was so massive. I had no other choice but to just go and do. I think back on how I was in those early years. Pure gusto, no fear. I was wild. Some of the things that I was sharing, being a telephone for an extraterrestrial, and no fear, no holds bars. While at the same time, I've been so aware that it's so sacred, this quote unquote business of spirituality is so sacred. Irony, paradox, and play. Okay. Irony, paradox, and play. Okay. This past year has been so profound with initiations and convergences of connections. The beings of Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, the lineage of Anna and Isis, of Hawaiian and indigenous teachings, all converging with what Bella and the hybrids have shared through me for years. And as you can see, I'm stumbling on my words. I'm not one to usually stumble on my words. I've been taking my time with how sacred this is and how simple and real and applicable. The main teaching that Yeshua and Bella and my guides and my ancestors have been sharing with me for years before coming into convergence with my now friend and mentor, Keoni Hanalei of PōHALA, Hawaiian Botanicals. The main message that my guides were sharing with me was the emergence and remembrance of the energetic feminine in each individual, and that then ripples through as a reflection through each individual for all of our greater societies. I'm pointing out the business of spirituality and the idea of it being a career for many people. In this era, it is big business right now. I'm pointing it out once again because paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. While we're in this age, moving into the next era of honoring and bringing together so many different voices, perspectives, lineages, traditions, one love. I see and I recognize and I honor all of the profound beauty that is surfacing in the spiritual community. And also at the same time, paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. So much of it is actually focused on different ways that we are continuing the illusion and the inflammation of the energetic masculine. So God, source, is 100, is one, okay? God source is one. And then within that one, there is contrasting energies, equal and opposite primordial forces. The best way that we have to describe and put those energies into a codex of language is feminine and masculine energies. Again, this is no surprise to many of us. We innately know this. Each individual, each human avatar is 100% feminine and 100% masculine energy. Again, it's no surprise to us that we are in an over-focus, a frenetic, abusive over-focus of operating from the energetic masculine. And as a result, a lot of our spiritual teachings are still perpetuating these ideas that really continue to inflame the poor, frenetic, analytical mind. What is it? What am I going to say? Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. So that had been the main teaching, the main message, the main realization, especially after my sister Hala transitioned, passed back into spirit over 3 years ago now. That was the main message, was this need to return to remember, to honor, to enter and understand the primordial void of all possible potential that is the energetic feminine. In so many different ways, we've been removed, separated from this energy. She's been banished from our cultures, from our society. And I'll say it this way. Ultimately, we chose to have this separation so that we could come back into knowing ourselves, right? We've heard this language before. The journey is to know thyself. The purpose is the process. But what truly is that process of reconciliation? From my direct experiences, and in the past year, I've had reflections and affirmations, aka nui loa, that this really is the foundation of the way, I shall say. It is one lineage. It's one love, one understanding, this absolutely necessary restoration of the energetic feminine. And so much of our spiritual teachings is confusing it, simply enough. Every few years or so, I go through this really deep retrieval and integration process and sharing. And then I feel as though I have to catch back up to myself. I have to reintroduce myself, or I get to, we shall say, I get to reintroduce myself. I get to organize all of the data and share. And I've been grappling, even though there's been so much reflection, I've been grappling with a lot of fear. Looking at that primordial wound within myself and all of the most integrative sacrifices that I can bestow, that I may offer, the sacrifices of my doubt, of my fear, to lay that on the altar of source so that I may invoke more of my own unity, of my potential. And so this video on the day of October 2nd, it is a solar eclipse. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. The sun is yet to come up over the hill. You can see it. You can see the light starting to change behind me there. This is my ceremony of organization, of sharing, like I've always done. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. I've been really fearful of being called out as a phony, fearful of being called cuckoo, crazy, fearful of being ostracized from the spiritual community, fearful of being ostracized from the Hawaiian community for sharing things when it's not yet appropriate timing or things that are not yet mine to share. And also at the same time, I've come into absolute trust with myself to know that I'm always being guided by spirit and energy and being led through very specific protocol. I've been scared of not being received by the New Age contact extraterrestrial community that I originally started the foundation of my channeling of the blissness business with. Because what I'm speaking about now is potentially less sparkly, less interesting. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. There is nothing more interesting than the energetic feminine. She is the seat of the throne, the origin point through which our soul and spirits express our passion. It is the space of the quantum domain. It is the space of quantum perspective that knows innate safety, that knows innate belonging. This is also the foundation of my friend Keoni Hanalei, who is an ambassador of a foundation of Keoni's teachings, of his lineage of Aloha Ma. Keoni is a representative of pre-Tahitian Hawaiian Mu lineages. And once again, this lineage, as Keoni shares as well, is the human lineage. And in my direct experiences, it's also proven then to be directly connected to Yeshua's lineage and Bella and the Hybrids lineage. Again, it's all one lineage. And the foundation is the expression of the qualities of belonging, the qualities of safety. And that is the domain of the energetic feminine. It's not even so much about knowing that we are safe. It's more so precisely knowing that we are safety itself. This is the space of our quote-unquote higher mind. It's first being sent through the first responder, that is the body. And then from there, the energetic feminine sends that dissemination and that translation to the heart, where the energetic masculine is able to receive the ideas of follow your highest excitement, is able to actually receive the true whispers of the heart so as to take action. But most of us have it inverted. And most of us are continuing to function from our energetic masculine being in the analytical mind. We are the ones that need to land. We are the ones that we are waiting for. First contact is contact with self first. The point and the process is to know thyself. The extraterrestrials say, take me to your leader. The energetic feminine is the leader. I could go on and on and on, and I will. I will continue to share. Oh. The other thing that I feel that is so important for us to digest in the spiritual community is that these teachings are also innately indigenous wisdom. We can see this theme of the need of balancing the feminine and the masculine energies within most of our world's cultures and traditions. Again, because it is one lineage. It's the lineage of humanity. This is the way. true organic birth, waking, rebirth, transformation, resurrection, and ascension can only come through the established energetic feminine. Organic birth, rebirth does not happen any other way. It's also been a really big part of my journey is learning more of my own ancestry. It turns out I am also in part what we can classify as Native American. The DNA comes from what we now call Mexico, but also those are Native American tribes. Mexican is a nationality. This is a whole deeper integration for me that I'm still in process with. And again, it brings up so many different fears of banishment, fears of ostracization, fears of culturally appropriating that which actually is my own blood. The cognitive dissonance there is profound. Blood quantum is a concept of colonization. I've learned from my Hawaiians and Lakota and Crow Nation friends that blood is blood. And so I'm in the process of restoring that aspect of myself within me, even though the percentage is most likely relatively small. I've ordered a DNA kit, but I'm just kind of staring at it and being in process with it. And eventually I will, but that's for me. In all actuality, the percentage is relatively low, but the idea is that blood is blood. And I'm still learning the exact tribes and locations. However, the most ancient, we should say, not even most ancient, it's relatively recent, but the female line that originates from Mexico, the individual that would have the indigenous blood, she was born in Tepic, Mexico. The river in Tepic, Mexico, and her surname was Rivas, river. The river that runs through Tepic is called Mololoa. Mololoa. I cannot find a definition or origin of the Mexican, because it could be from another language. I don't know in reference to Mexico where that word comes from. But it does have direct Olelo Hawaii translation that ripples through my blood and spinal cord. And that is the great return, the falling back to, the circling back to the great ancestral root. Kupuna vai mololoa. It is all one lineage. Organization. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. Ooh, there's a hummingbird on the tree over there that's just like in the sun. That's really beautiful. Mahalo, mahalo. To those of you that have been a part of Bella's community for the last few years, nothing changes. I do very much think that she is real. She is a physicalized being. And all of their perspectives and the ways that they share their information, their understandings of the mechanics of creation are still absolutely accurate. If anything, it brings more truth, more sensory experience to it. And if anyone is finding this or knows me from other places and doesn't really understand who Bella is, don't worry about it. It's a lot of canon. It's a lot of stuff that's kind of out there that ultimately she shares with us that she is a symbol. She is a symbol of the support that can be found within the coherence and restoration of the energetic feminine. Again, this is the space that is the seat of our soul. This is the dream. This is the noun of our being. This is the space that knows it belongs as an aspect of source. This space must be restored in each and every human, and it must be restored in our societies. And what we are referring to as first contact, my friends, the landing, is a consequence, a most integrative consequence of individuals landing within their energetic feminine first. It's not the main focus. It never has been. It's a permission slip. Again, I'm going to say this again. It is the most beautiful, integrative consequence of each individual landing within themselves first and foremost. We end the war within ourselves first. We land. We come home. Take us to your leader, please. Please. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. Let's be brave enough to be our holistic selves. Let's be brave enough to not complicate divinity. Let us be brave enough to allow our energetic masculines to release patriarchy within ourselves first, to relax, to fully drop out of the mind and into the rightful domain of the heart, so as to be able to truly hear the instructions from the body, the energetic feminine. Let us be brave enough to not complicate divinity. Paradox, irony, and play. Paradox, irony, and play. I will always be some form of an entertainer. I just need to take a moment to have such great appreciation for my most direct of lineage, my parents. Thank you to my parents. I had such supportive environment growing up that gave me the perfect foundation of brain plasticity to be able to be this type of channel. So within this setup for success, I've been able to remember that privilege is options. And having options is our divine birthright. Being the space of infinite options is the quantum domain. We are restoring that aspect of ourselves. Okay, the light's changing. I'm going to go play in the sun before I get ready to go on the zip lines. All of the links for further support and to get further information from myself and or Bella are found below. All the things. I just had to do it. I just had to start to weave it together, and there is no time like the present. So thank you all for receiving. And deeply, sincerely, thank you for being you. Receive this now, here moment to thank you for being you. To feel and find the energetic aspects of your being. To allow your energetic masculine to relax and come into restoration of the right use of will. To feel your body and remember and know your energetic feminine. And then from this place, we are able to be our beautiful selves. have a be you to the fullest now. Aloha ma.